What about your friends? Will they stand around? Would they let you down? Hey. Is that the word? If anyone knows me, I am a popular loner. Think about every lunch, every dinner that you've had with your girlfriend. It's typically over a glass of wine or two or a margarita. And the way that alcohol will make you feel like somebody is your best friend, because the enemy, just like he sends counterfeit men, he sends counterfeit friendships. I have lists for the type of women that I want. You don't think that the enemy is gonna send that type of woman that looks like that? And then as we go further along, I'm like, dang, you're actually like really faulty in a lot of ways. If you are not healthy and you are not sober, you will choose a counterfeit of a friend as well.
The vibe, can't black and shine, can't kill my high.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tap In with TK. My name is TK and I am so excited that you decided to pull up, y'all. First of all, if this is your first time watching, thank you so much. Here we talk all things elevation for women, evolving in our walk with the Lord, becoming more modest, becoming more feminine, embracing our nurturing spirits, and just getting back to who God originally created us to be. I don't know if that is your goal, but it is definitely mine, to be as close as possible when I go see my Father, as close as possible to what he created me to be, what he created me to do, all of those things. So if that's something that you feel like is in alignment with where you are at, baby, go ahead and subscribe, do the liking, the commenting, and all the other things. And baby, if you are a part of this family, if you are a part of my sisterhood, welcome back, girl. You already know today is another heavy hitter. I'm gonna get right into it because listen, the girls had a lot to say about this topic. A lot to say. Like maybe I'll put it on the screen of the scrolling of the comments that y'all made. So let me give a quick backstory. So I did a question. Y'all know on your story, you can post a question and people can type in whatever they want to type in. And I asked the ladies, I said, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to friendships? I asked ladies specifically, and I got so many. I mean, this is probably my most interactive question box thing I have ever had. I'm talking about, I couldn't even respond to all of them. They were just overwhelming in a good way. They were coming in, the answers were coming in, the questions were coming in, the stories, y'all, paragraphs of some tragic stories. And I don't mean to laugh, but like really messy friendships and like women sleeping with a man. And I mean, just a lot. And I was like, okay, whoa. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. Y'all, if y'all don't follow me on Instagram, I do random things on my story just to kind of see where y'all at. Like what's on y'all mind. And I'm not afraid of talking about difficult topics. Child, I done had a whole conversation about intimacy in my inbox with wives and girlfriends. And like we get down to the nitty gritty. And so I decided to bring this over on YouTube to kind of bring it all in one, because I could not do it on my story. It just would have been too much. But the main thing that I want to talk about that stood out to me was a common answer when it came to the struggle in friendships that you ladies have. And I feel like it was one of mine as well on many occasions. And that is women feeling like they give more than they receive. Reciprocity. That was the ringing answer. Every woman feeling like they give, but they're not receiving the same level. And I was going to talk about this from a completely different angle until my cousin slid in my DM. And I want to read her message, which was, thank you, Marissa, by the way, because this shifted the trajectory of this video, literally. My cousin said, can we talk about the fact that everyone is saying that they are pores? Because if everyone is claiming that they are the strong friend or they're drained from pouring, maybe they just don't understand each other's friendship language. And literally I just typed, like, what? And it made me sit in my own stuff. It made me sit down and say, dang, have I been thinking that I've been pouring out a lot, but it wasn't even my friend's love language? So if you guys don't know what love languages are, I'm going to try to give my best TK's version of it. So there's 5 different love languages. You have acts of service, physical touch, quality time, gifts, and words of affirmation. And Namdi actually introduced those the love language to me, which is my husband, and he had me take the test. And number one, I'm an acts of service girl. I think I've changed a little bit, but acts of service is top tier. Okay, baby, if you pull up and help me in my house, or help me with my kids, or help me on an assignment with YouTube, best friend. Okay. But my husband taught me that, and it was something that married couples, we always tell them, take the DISC assessment and take the love language test, because you'll just be able to know your friends a little bit better. But I was thinking how in some friendships, let's say for instance, I am a gift giver, although I like receiving gifts too, but I love giving gifts. In many of my friendships, I have paid for meals, helped businesses. I mean, just I love doing that. That's sincerely what I love to do. And I was thinking like, wow, I given all of this money and this gifts, but what if this friend was like, I just needed, what if this friend's love language was affection, was touch? And here I am pouring out money and giving her gifts and candles, and she's like, I just want a hug. I just want to be able to be near you. I just want quality time. Or what if it's words of affirmation? And look, if anyone knows me, I am a popular loner. If that makes sense, I am a popular loner. Like when I get out, baby, I attract people. Like I know that my personality is very big, but at the same time, like I love being alone. And if one of my friends' love language is words of affirmation or quality time, baby, if it's quality time, I am probably failing as a friend. And so it just sent me down this tunnel of just thinking about different friendships. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I might have been a bad friend, because I'm giving, every time we get together, I'm giving gifts, or I'm whatever. And she's like, I just need you to hold my hand. I need you to pull up and just sit with me. I need you to come over. And I need, like, isn't that crazy? So I don't know. I want you ladies to think about that. And if you have a best friend or you have a close friend, like ask them, like, what is your love language? What way can I properly love you? And I think, and that's going to actually start off our points. So when it came, y'all already know, when I do these videos, I don't want to just tell y'all stories and give y'all my life experiences. I want to do the best that I can do for you to walk away with practical tools that will better whatever circumstance or situation that you're in. And after sitting in this, I want to first say, this will actually be one of my points, but to examine that and to ask my friends, how do you receive love? Now, if you receive love by a bunch of quality time, that would be difficult for me to show up, but it will also allow me to be a little bit more aware. So maybe you're struggling in your friendships and y'all are not connecting, or there's always this tension, or there's chaos because you think you're a poor. Like my cousin said, she said, how does everybody think they're a poor? Well, maybe you're just pouring wrong. Like maybe you're not pouring the right juice in her cup, in her love tank. Okay. And so I wanted to give y'all 5 takeaways on how to not only better love our friends, but better pick our friends, better choose our friends. Because baby, the way my DMs was set up last week, I'm like, she don't need to be your friend. Like, let's just talk about that. Like, she slept with your man, we're done. Well, there's nothing else to talk about. So like, what are we restoring? It's over, you know? Let's get into it. I don't want to waste a bunch of time. Number 1, this was, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I said this on my story yesterday. This will be yesterday when y'all watch this. A revelation that the Lord dropped on me. So let me ease y'all into this. I was talking to my friend. Yeah, she'll rename nameless, but she'll know who she is when she watches this. And we were just going back and forth about friendships, and we're alike in a lot of ways. And I was sharing some of my issues that I see reoccurring in my friendships. And one of the issues that I saw from, especially in the past, not too much now, but especially in the past, is that I'll begin to make friends and instantly regret that I've gotten to the level that I have gotten to with them. And so I sat in this revelation. I'm talking to my friend and I'm telling her, like, you know, I think this is the problem. I think this is the problem. The Lord literally said, out of all of your friends, y'all hear me? I can't even look at the camera because it's so crazy. He said, out of all of your friends, who did you pick from a sober state of mind? And I was like, what are you talking about? Sober state of mind. He's like, just think about it. Think about every meeting, every first dinner, every first initial conversation, outing. Were you sober? I was like, I mean, you know, I had a glass of wine. I don't know, man. Like, what are you talking about? And me and my friend were actually talking about alcohol in general and how the Lord has just been, you know, taking us on our own journey. Actually, this month I'm fasting from any type of, you know, drinking wine, anything. And it's so crazy. I fasted for this month. Okay, backstory. I'm literally in my hallway cleaning, vacuuming. And I feel like I heard the Lord say, no wine for June. And I was like, nah, what are you talking about? This is not you, God. Like, you cannot be this specific in this, like, it almost felt petty in a way. I heard it back to back. I'm like, Lord, if that's you, I need to hear this shake in my spirit. He said, no wine for the month of June. I'm like, okay, just one more time. I heard it again in my spirit so loud and clear. Went in the restroom, made this decision, told my husband to hold me accountable. Think about every lunch, every dinner that you've had with your girlfriend. It's typically over a glass of wine or two or a margarita. And the way that alcohol will make you feel like somebody is your best friend. And then every single time you go out with her, you are drinking. And the Lord was like, think about every failed friendship. That was your friendships. Y'all went out, y'all had a drink, y'all had a couple glasses of wine. And this is why, because, and even as he was sharing these things with me, I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, I would even think in past friendships where I'm like, we are nothing alike. Like, the only thing we have alike is the fact that I can be ratchet, you know, like the only thing we have alike is the fact that we're both cute, or, you know, fill in the blank or whatever. And I felt compelled to share this with you because I think a lot of us are choosing friends off of just good times. I feel like a lot of us are choosing friends because they just make us feel good. They're going to pull up. They're going to bring the bottle when we're asleep, when we're depressed, when we're sad. They're going to take us out to eat. Girl, come on, let's drink. Let's have these shots. And I'm talking to Christian women. I'm talking to believers. I'm talking to the woman that think just that one glass or that two glasses, like that still will affect your judgment for a woman. It still will affect your decision making to either further the friendship. And so I just want to put that out there. Like, have you been sober? And then not even just to add to the alcohol portion of it, but sober also meaning alert spiritually. Do you ignore the alerts that you hear spiritually about a friend? Whether it's because y'all been friends for a very long time, she's a good person, she's really nice, she know my kids, our kids, da, 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 my mama know her. Like, is that affecting your judgment? Are you sober when you choose your friends? Are you sober as you're enduring in these friendships? And so that was something that the Lord pointed out to me. And I'm like, okay, the next time I go out with a girl for the first time, we're not drinking. We're going to have a good mocktail. We're not having no glass of wine, nothing. I want to be clear to know if this is something I should pursue, if this is something I should further. Which leads me into the second point, which is setting clear expectations. Y'all know, just like we are dating a man, on the first date, baby, how many kids you want? What's your credit score? What's this? What do you want? Da da da. Boom, 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 boom. Like, you're trying to figure out if you are worthy of me going on a second date with you. And I feel like we should treat friendships the same exact way. Treat it like the man that you want to pursue you. And even deeper than that, something that I've learned along the years is to not dive so deep so quickly. A lot of us are choosing friendships from boredom, from hurt, from rejection, from internal issues that you're trying to ignore. Fill in the blank. And a lot of times we dive so deep and this person knows so much, baby, I gotta stay locked in. We gotta stay locked in. You know about my kids. You know about when I was about to divorce my husband. You know about the moment that I did this, and I kind of had a conversation with dude on the side. You know too much. So I have to continue this friendship with you. You feel me? Because I don't know what's going to happen if this friendship ends. I don't know who you're going to tell my business to. And so that was something that also the Lord convicted me of. Like, it's just like, again, when you go on your first date with a man, you're not going to be like, hey, I contracted STDs when I was 14. Like, he's going to be like, whoa, hello. So if you share something that intimate with a dude, you know that you just know too much. So even if I know that you are not my husband, I gotta stay locked in with you because you know too much. Being aware of the stage that you're even choosing the friend from. If you're bored, you probably don't want to go on a search for friends. If you are brokenhearted, you might not want to go out on the search, because the enemy, just like he sends counterfeit men, he sends counterfeit friendships. He will present a woman that I have lists for the type of women that I want. I want boss chicks. I want women that's walking in a purpose. I don't got time for women to be insecure around me. I need you to know what you don't think that the enemy is going to send that type of woman that looks like that? And then as we go further along, I'm like, dang, you're actually like really faulty in a lot of ways. And if you are not healthy and you are not sober, you will choose a counterfeit of a friend as well. And so back to the point, setting those clear expectations for yourself. And to dive even deeper into expectations, when you are setting those expectations, like, hey, when you talking to yourself, I'm going on this lunch date. I don't care how fired this woman might be. She is still on an interview process. She's still going through just like you have your first interview, you have a second interview, then she talked to the CEO, then you go on training, and then you start getting promoted up to friend and best friend and my blood sister at this point. But you don't just go from the first interview to being the CEO of a company. And I think we should treat friendships the same exact way. Take your time. Take your time. I know friendships are beautiful, but if we choose them quickly, and if we don't have expectations for what we are desiring, we don't set those expectations. And to go to another level, even as far as expectations, like even letting that person being able to choose you. Like, hey, this is the type of person that I am. I am, I deal with being clingy. I deal with being distant. I struggle with lying. I struggle with sexual sin. I struggle with pride. Like also, and not diving so deep, but like giving pieces of yourself as well. Because again, if you are just drinking, y'all just brunching it, having a good time, you don't get to really dissect a person to see if they're worthy for a second date. So set the expectations. Be clear about what you're doing there. Be clear that this is an interview process. This is not, as women of God, we're not just going on brunch dates to have fun. If I sit at a table with you, I am interviewing you either as a friend or as a business partner. That's it. We're not just kicking it. I'm not 10 or 15. Like, we're grown. I am married. I need to see what type of woman you are because I have a husband. I need to see, have you ever slept with a married man? Okay, how long ago was that? Like, we got to talk about the things. I got to know some stuff, because if I am interviewing as my friend, you're most likely going to be around my family. I need to know some stuff, and that takes time. And when we dive so deep, you miss patches. When you dive so deep and when you're not sober, you miss patches of a woman that you should have known. You needed to know, because you might have not chosen to move forward. Okay. Number 3, know the difference between associates, friends, best friends, and then sisters. And I think this is very important. But before I go into this, I want to share a clip with y'all that I think will explain this very well.
I honestly feel like that's why most people don't have solid friendships, because it's the proximity that has power over them instead of them having power over their proximity. What I mean by that is, if you go to work every day and you see the same people, well, I see you so often that now you've become my best friend, but you never really should have been my best friend. We're not actually in alignment. I just see you enough enough, that I'm comfortable enough, that I start telling you things I shouldn't tell you. And so then we get mad when Sally goes and tells all our business, or we get mad when Sally goes and does whatever she does, but Sally's really just being Sally.
Yeah.
So I can't get mad.
You didn't know Sally to begin with.
Right. I can't get mad at Sally for being who she is. I get to get mad at myself for putting Sally in best friend slot when she's not qualified.
That is good.
We need to stop qualifying people that are literally not putting in the work. They're just showing up.
When I saw this video, I was just like, oh my goodness. It just brought everything that I was saying about being sober, about knowing the difference of what is an associate, what is a friend, what is a best friend, what is a sister. Again, even as the recipient, if you are a woman in a friendship and you feel like you are someone's best friend, really check that status. And I think it's so big, even talking about, it's almost like we're pressured. So for instance, if we go to the same job, same church, and I see you all the time, yes, we are, you know, family if we're at the same church in the same body, but that doesn't mean that we're best friends. So I might see you every Sunday, but you might not see me during the week. We might not talk on the phone, you know, all the time. We might not text like that. And the difficult thing, I don't know if y'all relate with me, but for me, the difficult thing for me is I am very personable. I am very open. I am very, like, let's talk. If I meet you for the first time, baby, we can dive into your family origin. You know, where you from, what your mama and daddy did. And because I am that way, first, because I am a minister, and so it's a gift that I have, but because I am that way, people will leave a conversation with me feeling like they are my best friend. And you might relate with that, especially for all the women that said that they are poors. For all the women that feel like they give more than they receive, you might have this gift as well. And I think it is very important to not fall in the lines of, oh, we talk all the time, so now you're my best friend. Oh, I see you at church every Sunday, so now you're my best friend. Oh, we work together. I don't care. If I see you, like, and I'm telling you to not care about the fact that we're in the same place. That does not mean that that person is supposed to be invited into your personal life and become a part of your family. Because initially, essentially that's what that is. Whenever you claim someone to be a friend and you bring around your kids and your home, that is something that we need to take a little bit more serious. Because how heartbreaking is that? How heartbreaking is it for someone to feel like you're their best friend, and then every time they call you, you don't answer, or every time they invite you somewhere, you don't go, or you just keep failing them, and now you're a bad friend, but in your mind, you were never their friend. You were just an associate that had a good conversation with them. And so I think it's also important on our end, when you are pouring so much, now pouring the right way, not pouring and you pouring the wrong love language. You actually like this person, you want to be their friend, but meaning you have a gift. You have to handle that with so much intentionality and care, to make sure that at the end of that conversation, I would love, y'all know how many events I go to and people ask me for my number. Y'all know how difficult it is to say no. But I'd rather do that. And Namdi had to make this clear to me as well. He was like, he actually told me to share it. Like, hey, I don't want to disappoint you by not texting. I just texted the girl today and she texted me in April and I'm just now responding. How trash is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's horrible. So instead of doing that, how about we just be 100 and just have clear expectations and set the bar and be truthful and be transparent. And so, and the last point, listen to the Holy Spirit. This seems really simple, but we don't be listening. You know, we ignore red flags just like we ignore them with men. There's been times that I have absolutely blatantly pursued a friendship with someone that I knew that I wasn't supposed to, and I couldn't even be surprised at how it turned out. Like, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. I wasn't supposed to do this with you. We were just supposed to pray that one time, you know, but me and you were both lonely. Me and you were both hurting. So it made sense. Yeah, so I just want to encourage y'all to, like, really pray for your discernment when it comes to choosing other women. Women love to say, you know, they don't like other women. And it's like, no, you just are probably a bad picker. You're probably choosing bad fruit. And you might be choosing it because you're lonely. You might be choosing it because you're desperate. You might be choosing it because of whatever. And so we have to be honest about ourselves. And so I had to look at my past pickings and be like, okay, TK, you were this in that season. You were that in that season. You were not sober. You were not sober in your thinking and your choosing. You ignore the Holy Spirit. It isn't this conspiracy that women are catting, and some women are, but it's also because you choose bad. Like, you choose wrong and you ignore the Holy Spirit. Be prayerful. If you're on a journey of finding your friends or finding your sisterhood or finding your tribe, whatever you want to call it, be mindful that just as you should pray for your husband and the traits that he has, pray for that woman. Because look at me quoting someone that's probably like so controversial again. Last time it was Amber Rose. And shout out to whoever commented, thank you for the Amber Rose quote, because yeah, Amber Rose, that one quote changed my life. But here's another one from Kevin Samuels. He said, single women keep single women single, which lets me know that bad friends, bad picking, bad choosing can be destructive to your life. I can choose a woman that complains about her husband all the time, or I can choose a healthy woman. I can choose a single woman that isn't pursuing marriage, or I can choose a woman that is pursuing marriage and desires to be whole. Or I can choose a woman that, you know, is kicking it in these streets. I could choose a woman that's choosing business and entrepreneurship. It's up to you. But in order for you to even do that well, we have to listen to the Holy Spirit. We have to let the Lord lead us. And so that's it. That's all. I didn't want to dive into too many scenarios. If y'all want me to do a part 2 on these friendships, because I have some stories that I can read, some questions that I could answer, y'all please let me know in the comments down below. But I kind of want to just give y'all some meat before I gave tea. You know, I didn't want to give too much tea. And let me say this to every woman in my life right now. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for the safe space. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable with you. Thank you for allowing me to meet your family. Thank you for meeting mine. Thank you for giving me hope that sisterhood can exist. I hope this gives you hope to hold yourself accountable. You know, like if you keep attracting women that sleep with your men, or you keep choosing, women that are messy with nasty attitudes, let's do some self-reflection. Like, let's ask ourselves, was I sober? Was I healthy when I chose her? Was I sad? Was I bored? Like, asking yourself, why did you choose these people? Why did you ignore the red flags? Why are you still friends with them if they are just downright unhealthy? I'm definitely going to do a part 2. I'm definitely doing a part 2 because I have so much to say, even when it comes to so this is choosing your friends, but I think even maintaining friends is a whole different video within itself. When to know to leave, when to know, you know, to give it a break, to pause, because I definitely believe in letting friendships breathe when, you know, things get weird, you know, and so y'all let me know what y'all want. If y'all want a part 2, or if y'all have a specific topic that y'all want me to cover, let me know as well. So that's it, y'all. I pray that you were blessed by this video. What about your friends? Will they stand around? Would they let you down? Hey, is that the words? I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in to another Tapping with TK. I will see y'all on the next video.